craziest calls I ever went on was a shots fired call during the middle of the day. It was in the summer, so it was hot out, and it was like my last day shift for the week. Nobody else was out with me. And that's usually how troopers roll. You don't have anybody else out. You're one to a car, one to a county, sometimes one to two counties. So, and usually if you're out during the day, the only backup you have might be somebody that serves papers for the sheriff's office. And this is Southeast Kentucky, not where I live now, up in the middle of the state. But I got a call of shots fired, and I was on the other side of the county, so I'm burning it up, getting up there. They're trying to find me some backup. Well, the only guy that they can find is this guy that was old enough to be my grandfather. All he did was serve papers, and he had gone home for lunch, and just so happened to live about 5 minutes from where this call was. So they tell me who is coming, and I kind of just shake my head, and I told my dispatcher, I'm like, if it's all the same to you guys, I would rather just go myself. At least I know what I'm going to do. I don't want to have to be responsible for anybody else. Well, then the supervisor gets on there and he goes, you need to just wait on him, let him go with you. It could get crazy, just from the stuff we're hearing. So I get there. He lives 5 minutes away. I was coming, I don't know how far away. I beat him to this place. So right as we get to the end of this road where this happened on, we see a car coming out. And of course, I hop out, about to unsheath the smoke wagon, and it's a lady coming, and she's just distraught. She says, my dad, I don't know what's happened to him. He's lost his mind. He was acting crazy at the house today, and he came over here and to my family's house over here, and she said, I think he's shot some people over there, some of our I guess family and friends. I'm not sure what exactly happened. It's been years ago, but so I'm like, is he still there? And she goes, I don't know. She goes, I just ran over here to see if I could find him, and he wasn't up here. She said, I pulled up to the house, didn't see his car, so I turned around and left. She said, but the front door is standing wide open, and that can't be a good sign. It's like, okay. So I turned to my trusty sidekick here, and I said, all right, follow me up there. I'm going to clear the house. We're going to see what we got. I said, you just need to cover me. He goes, well, they called me during my lunch, and I went to grab my teeth and my gun and jumped in the car, and I got up here and realized I only brought my teeth. I ain't got my gun. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. He says, no, I wish I was. You got one I could borrow? And I was like, no, I'm not giving you a gun. Just hang back. If you see something, yell, look it on the radio or whatever. So anyway, I said, you better be ready to bite somebody is all I can tell you. So anyway, we go on up. I get up to the house. It's in the middle of the day. It's in the summertime, and there's some foliage there. It's a lot of shadows in the yard. But I make out a body in the yard. And so I go over and I draw down on it, check it, and it's a guy. He's DRT is what we call it, dead right there. Check him. He's done. So I yell for my cohort there to cover me or watch for me as I go around the house to see if the guy is, maybe hiding behind the house on us. And so I clear around the house, nobody back there, but I can kind of peer in the windows, and I thought I saw somebody laying in the hallway. And I'm like, oh my God, this is awful. And so I holler for them to get EMS en route, and possibly the coroner, and definitely the coroner is what I said. So I go to the door, I start, slicing the pie like we're taught to, start clearing the rooms, and sure enough, I find one dead in the hallway, find another one dead in the bathroom floor. Just an awful scene. So there's nothing else I can do for these people. And basically, I tell my cohort there, I'm like, dude, we've got to find this guy. Stay back. Watch the house. If you see anybody, get on the radio, holler back at me. I'm gonna go up to where this person lives. Well, about that time, the radio blares and says this guy is at his house. He returned there, made a comment that he had killed them all, and was pacing frantically back and forth and still had the gun in his hand. So I'm like, so I take off, and it's probably not even a mile from where this happened that this person lived. So I take off up there. Well, my cohort jumps in his car and comes too. Which you can't fault him for that. But I jump out, I grab my shotgun. Because before we actually had rifles, everybody had rifles at that time. We all had shotguns. So I grab my shotgun. I start going around the side of the house, and somebody yells from the front porch and said he went around back. So I start, slicing the corner of the house there. And as soon as I clear the corner of that house, I hear a gunshot. And it is loud. I mean, it's like it sounded like it was right beside of me. And so I come out, and I'm drawing down on, back there and poking my head out. Well, the guy is falling backwards up, and it's a big steep hill behind this house. So he's falling backwards. When he hits, the gun kind of bounces out of his hand. He shot himself in the head. And so I'm drawing down on him. I'm telling him not to reach for the gun, all this kind of stuff. Well, my cohort starts walking up the hill to this guy because he knows him. And he's trying to talk to him. Why'd you do this for? What? All this stuff. And I'm just like, dude, do not walk up there. And so I walk up, and I said, at least kick the gun away, because he's standing like literally right over top of this gun. And the guy's hand is right beside him. I'm like, kick the gun away. So when he finally kicks the gun away, I'm like, okay, finally. So I go up, and I'm trying to address this guy. He's got a gunshot wound to his head. I check him for any other weapons. He doesn't have any. I take control of the gun, and we get EMS to come up there. It was a crazy scene. There and the other place, but I thought for sure he'd shot at me, and but he decided he wanted to kill himself, and we didn't die. So, long story short, I guess he was found incompetent to stand trial. He was, I guess, guilty of killing all three of them, but was found mentally whatever, and I guess it's basically serving his time in a mental facility. But that was crazy. And I had my sidekick with his false teeth and no gun. So that's being a trooper in Southeast Kentucky for you, right there in a nutshell. So hope you like that story. Like, follow, and subscribe if you want to hear more of this stuff.